So Emery,
Yes, yes, sir.
in Mississippi, I think it is. You say there are three easy ways to prove that God exists. Um,
Yes,
can we
sir.
start with? Can we start before the three? Because I'd like to do them kind of one at a time, and we may not get to all of
Okay.
them. But
Yeah.
the, the
That's what I was
but
looking
the
forward to.
but
Going one at a time.
but 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 the first question is, what type of God are you going to be demonstrating?
A guy, a guy that,
Emery,
a guy that,
hey,
huh,
Emery,
sir,
Emery, do
sir,
me a favor.
sir.
I need you to back off your phone or
Okay.
microphone, and I need you to
Oh,
lower
sorry.
the volume of your voice because
Oh,
for some reason it's modulating so loudly that it's distorting to the point of almost being unlistenable, and we want to be able to listen to what you're saying. So let's pull that mic away and
sorry about that.
soften you. All right, let's try again. Here we go.
Okay. Well, what I like to do is show like when God says something, like it actually happens, and of course I said there's three ways to prove it, and one of the ways to prove it is the transatlantic slave trade is in the Bible, and not only that, there's the 666 prophecy, and third, there's the modern day Gaza and Palestine, an Israel prophecy that's happening right now. That's word for word, and I can even use science to prove some of it. Well, starting with the first one,
Pause for a second, Emery.
Okay.
All right. So the question I asked was, which God are we going to demonstrate? So I'm assuming.
Sorry.
Hang on. Wait until I'm done asking the question. So I'm assuming now that we're going with some version of the God of the Bible.
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said there's three ways of demonstrating it, and that it seems to me that you're arguing there are three events: the transatlantic slave trade, something about 666, and what's currently going on in Gaza, that those three things are in the Bible explicitly.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
In extreme detail.
Let me ask a question in extreme detail. Cool. Let me ask a question before we get to where exactly they are. Let's say that there was a passage in the Bible that says, in around 2,000 years from now, in Israel, there will be strife and struggle and bombing and slaughter. All of that would be accurate, right?
Yeah.
How
Yes,
would
sir.
the accuracy of that demonstrate that it could only have come from a God rather than some other mechanism of predicting the future?
It's just in extreme detail. It's very precise. How can you tell if somebody's right?
That's not what I asked.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
If the Bible had my phone number in it, that's incredibly accurate and specific. Would that prove that the only way my number could have ended up in the Bible is if there's a God who put it there?
It's no. Well,
if my phone number were in the Bible, would that be proof that the only way that my phone number could be in the Bible is because God put it there?
Well, it's like,
Emery?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think
carry
about
on a
it.
conversation here.
Like
I've got the same question.
well, yeah, okay. Well, it's like when you're breaking stuff down. It's you can even use science into it. As long as it lines up. There's some things that can't be reasoned away with. Like you can Like
Emery,
you can
this is
look
not
up,
remotely. Emery, this is not remotely an answer to my question. My question is a yes or no
okay,
question. If my phone
okay,
number
no then.
appeared in the if my phone number appeared in the Bible, would that be sufficient to conclude that it must be in the Bible because of God put it there?
No, no, it's not.
Cool. Now, do you have anything from the Bible that is more specific than my phone number?
Yes,
I bet
yes.
you, I'll bet you $1,000 you don't, but go right ahead. Which one do you want?
Oh,
Transatlantic slave trade 666 or Israel Gaza?
uh, yeah, since I want to go with science on this, what I'm going to say the transatlantic slave trade.
Cool.
Emery,
What?
Emery,
Go ahead.
step away from your mic or your phone just a few
I'm sorry.
inches. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So,
I want to go with
where,
the transatlantic slave trade.
where,
Yeah, yes,
where
oh,
in the Bible?
yes, sir.
Hang on. Where in the Bible is the transatlantic slave trade described with more accuracy than my phone number?
Zephaniah 3:10.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Zephaniah 3 says, "From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughters of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering." And you say
Yeah.
that is the Bible describing the transatlantic slave trade with more detail than my phone number.
Yeah. Well, not that, but it takes a while to get to that point. But I do have like multiple sources that can back it up, though, and even with science.
Emery?
That's what I'm saying. Yes, sir.
So first of all, science isn't involved here. You have a book, and you say the book is making a claim about the transatlantic slave trade, and that the claim that it makes is there with stop talking. Stop talking. You're saying that the claim is there more accurately than my phone number. And you gave me Zephaniah 3:10, which doesn't say transatlantic, doesn't say slave trade at all. So what else you got?
Okay. Let's see here. There's one of the curses that would be on the children of Israel, and it was in there. It said that let's see. I believe that only the African Americans fit that curse, and and it's lining up with what even Rabbi Harry Rosenberg has said. There's a rabbi named Harry Rosenberg. He's been going around saying Black Americans are the real Jews, the descendants of Israel. And not only has DNA and science proved it, the Bible proves it too, because there's a specific curse that's supposed to be on the children of Israel.
Emery, I hate to let you know, but science does not confirm any of this, and what Rosenberg or anybody else says is irrelevant. You claimed that the Bible has a description of the transatlantic slave trade that is more accurate than my phone number. That appears to not be true.
Well, you could show them the narrative of that question, though. That's what's going on there. I'm trying to break it down to you.
Emery, I'm having difficulty. Emery, first of all, you've got to stay away from the microphone. If you could listen to this and what it's doing to everybody's ears, you would probably just hang up. But the reality is, you claimed, do you know how accurate a phone number is? Like, let's just say that you have 10 digits. And if one of them is off and you try to call me, are you going to reach me? No. So all 10 digits. Now, given that we have a 10-digit number there for my phone number, the precision of that number is staggering. You have nothing in the Bible.
I see what you mean. Okay.
You have nothing in the Bible that talks about the transatlantic slave trade in any sort of specifics at all. There's nothing about the transatlantic slave trade at all.
Believe me, it's in there.
There is nothing. Stop interrupting me, Emery. Emery, what the fuck does Duke University have to do with anything?
Science.
Okay. Seth, I'm done. I don't know if you have anything else
I
for
have
Emery.
nothing. I have.
Cool.
Don't play with
Thanks.
Water Strand University.
Jesus, I
Thanks.
think
Goodbye.
that's the
Goodbye,
end of the
Emery.
call. I think if we can't follow simple instructions to back away from the mic or the phone, I think we're probably walking uphill anyway. But I heard claims untethered to the scripture in Zephaniah that he was referring to. I heard claims about black people and the Israelites. Of course, anytime you get into the fulfilled prophecy angle anyway, you've got to deal with the failed prophecy. And of course, my favorite one is the prophecy of Tyre. And mostly I thought it was a word salad. I couldn't really follow it. Was I just an idiot, Matt? Or, was there anything cogent in there that you were able to track?
No, there was
Okay.
no argument. There was no structure. And when you mention, just throw out Duke University, and when I say, what is Duke University, you have to do it, and your answer is science. There's not a cogent thought there. What's happened is that Emery, like many other people, has been convinced by some rather charismatic speakers that if you read certain passages in the Bible a certain way with a certain understanding, all of which comes now and is actually guided, you can find the Bible describing things that occurred much later, except they don't describe it in any detail. There's nothing, if you look at the passage in Zephaniah, it just says, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughters of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. Well, that is not, there's so many different ways that you could interpret that. That does not mean, by the way, which from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, you realize if there's a river beyond, if there's a north-south river, if you're on the east side, then beyond is west of that. And if you're on the west side, then beyond is east of that. So right off the bat, even being as charitable as possible, saying from beyond the river doesn't tell us anything. Oh, well, the authors we know were east of Ethiopia, so they must have meant west. Okay, cool. Do you realize that once you start going west, you can never stop going west? And when you start going east, you can never stop going east. If you keep walking, you will always be walking east and you'll always be walking west. It's different. If you start going north, you will eventually be headed south. And if you start heading south, you will eventually be headed north. But if you start going east, you always will. Surely, some God who knew about the transatlantic slave trade and knew that it was going to be a problem would have included a passage that said, in about 1700 years, people will come over to this side of the world from another side of the world and kidnap the individuals and take them with them to enslave them in a new nation. The problem is, even if it said that, that's not very specific because slavery was already happening then, and it isn't specific enough. That's why I went with my phone number. If my phone number appeared in the Bible, like clearly, not with some equidistant letter sequence and not just, converting Hebrew letters to their numerical equivalent and saying, somewhere that string of my phone number is there. But like literally, if there was a passage that said, hey, you can call Matt Dillahunty and Seth Andrews at 720-619-2288. That would be impressive. I wouldn't have any idea how an ancient book could have that information. It still would not demonstrate that a God existed, but it would certainly be puzzling. And it would be infinitely more puzzling, or incredibly more puzzling, than a passage from Zephaniah that talks about bringing an offering from the other side of Ethiopia. That's just not specific. Or Duke University is science.
Some of what he was talking about has echoes of, it reminded me of the Black Hebrew Israelites. They are, I'll call them a relatively extremist group. I recently saw them marching on the Washington Capitol steps, and they claim that, African Americans are descendants of the ancient Israelites, and the more extreme factions are really black nationalists. and even black globalists. There's a lot of really problematic stuff going on. But I heard shades of that when Emery was speaking. Maybe that's an influence on his perspective. But honestly, I don't know what to do with almost everything he said, that which I could hear. So,
yeah.
And like a subscriber, Jimmy will have to go on a polyamorous dating show to win some prize money.
Wait, I want to do that. So also hit like and subscribe, and then go to patreon.com/calltheline. I was trying to make you laugh and ruin the take. That's why that silly face earlier. If I was on a polyamorous dating show, I would just choose everybody. Except Frederick. Leave a comment.